Hello guys, my name is Leon from Setter's Raid. I am amazing today. My son came down and we spent a couple hours adjusting the sound of my feeds. So my current system will now give us really good sound, really clear sound. I'm not going to blow out your speakers, but you're not going to have to get your head 2 inches from the TV to hear me. I'm very happy with what I'm getting here, and so that's the start. The first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to cover a little bit what we're going to do this week. I had mentioned earlier that we're going to do top 5 teams now for Clan Boss, and that'll wrap up my Clan Boss speak. And then tomorrow I have a solo team that I'm working on. I'm not there. I thought I was. I did 10 in a row on Ice Golem and solo, and I was like, all right. And then today I did 3 in a row, and they all 3 failed. So I'm still working on the Ice Golem solo, but I'm really, really close. Like, really close. I think one, not blessing, but one, one blessing. I just need one blessing for my guy, and I'll have 100% Clan Boss, no, or not Clan Boss, Ice Golem. So I just need a 1 star on one guy, and so I'm monitoring the token trader and not token trader. I'm monitoring the soul merchant here, see my guy, and I'm not seeing him yet. So you will get the overall view of the guy, and I'm pretty sure that we'll get her done tomorrow. That video. Wednesday, I'm going to start up a new series. We're going to start looking at all the heads of Hydra. I'm going to go through each head individually, list their counters, list their stuff. And then I'm actually going to go out, and after we do all, I believe it's 6 heads. There's 6 different heads. Maybe there's more. Maybe there's 8. I thought there was only 6. But after we do all the different heads and give a spotlight to each head, then I'm going to go through and look at my current team, and it can use a ton of help, and I'm going to appreciate all the help that you guys can send my way. And then the last thing I'm going to do is so that's kind of the ideas for Hydra. And then we'll also be looking at some more unique new Clan Boss teams. I have a few of them in my head that I am theory crafting that is actually working, but I wanted to physically show you guys the teams working. I'm going to probably have to wait for a free regear event, but we're getting there. So, real quick from what we were talking about. The first thing is top 5 Clan Boss teams. I'm taking into account a few different things. A, have I ran this team? And what kind of success did I have with it? And I'll give you some of the stuff that I seen that I really liked and some of the stuff I didn't like. Where the challenges lie and all that kind of stuff. The second thing I did with this is I kind of weighed in the flexibility and the ease of use into how does this team go together. And then the last thing I'm considering in this is just how much do I enjoy running the team. There are some teams I just like better than others, and it's not because they get bigger damage, but because I like the concept behind them better. If you're going to get one key, doesn't matter if I get 80 million or 180 million or even a billion, doesn't matter. The first one that we're going to talk about, and I didn't even think about this, is the Infinity Comp. This is a the reason they don't even have anything on Deadwood Jedi's site. So I'm going to pull up a new one here and go to Google. The Infinity comp can be done. It does not, 100% does not need the rare that they're talking about. Here it is. Infinity Gauntlet Clan Boss. Yeah, he has it out here. Let's see if he actually puts it out into... He does not put it into his notes. But you can look this up. I like the Infinity. It's Corpulent Cadaver. That's the one that does 1 billion damage. When I say 1 billion damage, I mean 1 billion damage. He literally does 1 billion damage. But you need Krisk. I don't have Krisk yet, but you can get around Krisk with others. Hellborn, Brogni, and Lanicus. What happens is you open up with the A3 of Brogni. You have all your guys have one of the shields on them. The equipment shields, i.e. Now I got to think of the name of it because I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. Divine. So like Divine Offense, where you get a shield for 3 turns. Give all your guys at least 1 set of Divine Offense. Or not Divine Offense, Divine Gear, whatever it may be. I just need the shield off of it. It can be any of these. It can be even the regular shield. It doesn't matter. Why? Because that gives you 2 sets of shields for our wonderful Mr. Brogni. Mr. Brogni, we want him to use his A2 as often as possible. Brogni is going to go out. Lanicus and Krisk are going to extend the shields, all of them. And Lanicus and Krisk are going to keep those shields up. Brogni, his A2, what it does is it takes part of the damage from his A2 and adds it to the shield. And the Infinity comes from, he continuously adds to the shield and you're putting on more than the clan boss is taken away. And you can go 150, 200 turns and really get some really outrageously high shields. And once again, because you have 2 of them on your guys, not just 1, you're getting a chance to double that protection. So Infinity Comp, the only reason it is not number 5 in my top 5 list and is an honorable mention is because I haven't run it myself because I don't have Krisk. I would be running it right now. Instead of Corpulent Cadaver, which is still a decent comp. I mean, it's still 1 key. But instead of Corpulent Cadaver, I'd be running Acrizia, I'd be running Gnut, I'd be running, somebody that's a decent damager and just let him go over and over and over again. And you should be able to just pile on the damage. That said, that is the opening salvo of our top 5. And our number 5 is going to come in with none other than Budget Unkillable. Nope, it isn't. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. I'm sorry. Number 5 is... Here it is. It's the Razzle Dazzle. Razzle Dazzle. I can't even think of the name of it now. Essentially, Razzlevarg runs. And Skullcrusher puts out counterattack. And so every turn, not every turn, but on the A2, or not A2, on the second turn of the clan boss, every round, you have the and it's not always the A2, but you're going to get in counterattacks throughout the game. That's what it was called, counterattacks. You're going to get your counterattacks in. Reason I like this, Razzlevarg very easy to set up. 236 isn't a horrible number. All the speeds are not outrageous to reach. I like the fact that I can use Python because I can then squelch the between Underpriest Brogni and Python. I can make sure that we never get any kind of a debuff. Sorry guys, my stroke is really kicking in hard today. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's really bad. Today it's really bad. Words are not coming into my head the way that they should. But the Razzle Dazzle counterattack team, I really like it because you're constantly counterattacking. I do have a Krizia, so instead of Gnut, I probably should put in a Krizia, because the counterattack from a Krizia would be much, 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 much better. Because every time A1 goes off, she can increase her A1 up to 100% more damage the more time she uses it. So with the counterattack on, a Krizia is going to get a lot of extra damage. Now that said, it doesn't have to be a Krizia. It doesn't have to be Gnut. It can be any damage dealer. If you put in Ninja, the only thing that you have to be aware of, the only thing, is that you just subtract this by 10. So instead of running it at 210, you run it at 200. That said, it's a pretty good team. It works well. I really like it. As I said, it fills the void of pretty much everything that I have. It does a really good job. And as you can see here, we're getting Razzlevarg going off 3 times, then 2 times, then 3 times. Or 3, 3, and 3. So this is essentially a 3-to-1 when it's actually really a 2-to-1. They'll classify it under 3-to-1 because Razzlevarg's going 3 times every turn. But this gets you out there and you're constantly counterattacking. You know, you counterattack here, you counterattack here, and you're counterattacking all the way through. And essentially, as I said, I really enjoy this team. I think that the counterattacks allow you to do some fun things. You're putting out your Brogni. I like Brogni being in here because then he puts out I can't think what it's called. He puts out HP burn, and then you put toxic on a guy or two, and now you're constantly got toxic in that going. You put your Krizia out with a decreased defense, or you find another champion to do decreased defense. As I said, go out to the Deadwood Jedi site. You have some options, though Skull Crush is pretty close to mandatory. Razzlevarg is definitely mandatory. The rest of them, there are some room for wiggle. The second team I was going to talk about, now we're going to come into this bad one. I apologize. Budget Unkillable. I've done this team. This was my first team. It got me to a 2 key Ultra Nightmare. The reason I really liked this back then is Geo is constantly putting a burnout. Frozen Banshee's constantly poisoning him. Bulwark, it doesn't have to be Bulwark. It can be anybody. You just have to build them up right. Follow the instructions on the website. It's not rocket science. Bulwark is your stun target. He's going to get stunned every round. Or every third round. But you don't worry about that because he gets stunned. It doesn't matter. He's not out there to do damage. He's out there to absorb the stun so the rest of the team can continuously go. Maneater is at a 5-turn cooldown, but with Painkeeper, he reduces that 5 to a 4. So, yeah, this works really well. And it's really close to a 1-to-1 because there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Or let's come down here to where it's at really at. So like Geo is 1, 2, 3. So that's a 1-to-1. Painkeeper 1, 2, 3, 4. Bulwark 1, 2, and then Maneater 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a 4-to-3 team essentially, but the point of it all is still remains you're going to get off a bunch of HP burns, you're going to get off a bunch of poisons, he's going to do a bunch of damage to himself, and then on top of that, you're going to be piling on the damage. Do you need to be using Geo? No. Do you need to use Rhazin Banshee? No. They're completely open DPS. Bulwark doesn't need to be Bulwark. It can be any DPS. All three of these can be whatever guys you want. So you can put in 3 Acrisias. It doesn't matter. But the point is, we're doing as much damage as possible, and you're completely invulnerable the entire time. Maneater puts up his A3 here. Everybody's unkillable. They're unkillable through this one too. Then we come here. They lose the unkillable except for Bulwark, who keeps it, but he's the one who's getting targeted by the stun, so it doesn't matter because he's still unkillable. And boom, we're on to the next round, and you just keep repeating that over and over and over again. The things to watch out for. When you look at budget unkillable, you need to make sure that you follow the instructions completely. So when you come out here, it tells you very, very explicitly, you know, you need to follow these speed ranges, but it's your stun target right here that you really have to pay attention to. The stun target's defense should be as low as possible, and several hundred lower than anybody else on the team. When facing affinities, the stun target ideally should be the weak affinity. That kind of stuff. Do not have avoid having a strong stun target. It's just not worth it. So, your stun target is very important in this. And as I said, go out to Deadwood Jedi's website, look up budget unkillable. Next one does not have a... Oops, this one here, I think. Yes, it is. This is what I call my 2-to-1 team. You will see in the comments my build for this. There's stuff that you can do. The thing I love about my budget, my 2-to-1, the only guy on this entire squad that needs to be there is Seeker. Everybody else is replaceable. All you have to have is a Seeker and a 2 4-turn unkillable or block damage. Maneater I know is 5-turn, but because of Emic's A2, it makes it down to 4-turn. So you can see here, Emic Trunkheart does his A3, and then here Maneater does his A3. Bing, 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 all the way through. In this comp, I have Doom Priest clearing off all the negatives. So here you can see we get the poison, but we pretty much wipe it out so it doesn't do any damage. This does work on the spirit affinity, but it gets a little goofy. You have to play with the speeds a little bit to make it work right. But outside of that, this works on all affinities. It's a 2-key team pretty easily, but I believe that with the right tuning, you can get down to 1 key. And I just love running it. It's a good team. It's one of my favorites. The things to watch out for on this team, as I said, everything's adjustable. So if you have a really slow but powerful guy, so let's say your Acrisia is the best, I can put Acrisia as my A3, or not A3, as my slow one. And instead of having a Chrysia here, we can then go with the Polke Scepter, and she can put out the block buffs for you. So you can constantly be blocking whatever it is that you need to block. As I said, I'll put out the stuff that you need, but once again, you're blocking damage, or not blocking damage, you're blocking debuffs, and then they never get the debuffs on you. Except for the first round here. The next one that I want to talk to you about is, I hope this is it. I believe that is not it. That's not it. That's it. Yes, this is it. This is the Myth Hare, H-A-R-E, Myth Hare team. I've used this one. I used this one before I use my current team. This is a fun setup. It's a one key pretty easily. Demytha, she's doing her normal 3 turns. Razelvarg's doing his normal 3 turns. And your DPS is doing 2 turns. Seeker is doing 3 turns. And your, in this case, I have Brogni to block. To block the whoops. I have Under Priest Brogni to block. There we go. So it's always blocking, so I never get anything. So you're always getting what you need taken care of. Anyways, Myth Hare works great. You need your DPS to take the stun, so you have to adjust that a little bit, so you have to be aware of that. But outside of that, this team works great. It's a great formulaic team. I really enjoy it. Once again, Myth Hare, H-A-R-E. The number 1 team is something that everybody knows. This is my 3-to-1 team. This is Myth Air. In this case, I'm actually using Gnut, so I'll just put in Gnut's name real quick. Oh, and I delay his A3 just 1 turn. Not that it matters a ton, but what it's going to do is we're just going to put out with his A2, he puts out a weaken, and that helps. This is the perfect clan boss team. 100% perfect clan boss team as far as I'm concerned. And let me show you why. So let's come down here a little bit, and we can look at this. We're right in tune right here on turn 3. Heiress goes. She removes all the debuffs before her turn starts, and she increases the speed. So this means affinity friendly, no matter what the affinity is. The only 2 people on the team that cannot take the stun are Heiress and Demytha. Outside of that, everybody else can take even then, anybody can take it except for Heiress, because Heiress removes the stun before the end of the game. So everybody except for Heiress can take the stun. It doesn't matter. Heiress removes it. So Heiress has that. Then she also puts out a increased speed, which Demytha doesn't extend on. So instead of being a 2-turn speed boost, it's 3-turn. And guess what? We're a 3-to-1, so it's constantly on. So you're getting a increased speed continuously through the entire game. Then Seeker goes. Seeker puts out increase attack, and he attacks again. Guess what? Seeker's going all the time, and he's also increasing your turn meter. Deacon, ditto. Deacon is going and hitting, and then he's extending his debuffs, and he's putting a decreased defense on the clan boss. And in my team, I have him with Toxic here, so he's also putting out poisons. Deacon is a huge, huge asset on my team. And they're all working together. So now that I have a decreased defense and a weekend, when Gnut hits, he's hitting for damn near 1 million a turn. So you wonder why he gets 66 million. You know why now. The next guy we're going to talk about, obviously, is Gnut. Gnut, he does his A2 to put out a weekend. His A3 does a ton of damage. His A1 does nothing other than cycles him through to this next turn. Demytha, once again, she's key to this whole thing. She does the block damage so no one takes damage. She extends everybody's buffs, which means our wonderful speed boost gets extended by a turn. And then the next one, we already covered Deacon, we already covered Heiress, we already covered Seeker. We covered everybody. This team just sets up and runs. So I'm not going to run you through the entire thing, but let's just give a quick look at the clan boss. Let's see, do I have a key yet? 4 minutes. Screw it. I'm going to spend 100 because I want you guys to see this. And this works on all of them. The only thing on Brutal here, which I'm going to do, is I'm going to switch up the team from Gnut to Geo. Same thing. He still does the weekend. Still in your perfect team. Only he puts out a burn, so we're going to have both burn and poisons out there. I don't want to do it quick, but I will start on auto, and I'll let it run so you get a chance to see it. But this is just a simple 3-to-1 team. And we're not going to get into full swing until turn 3, but you're going to get an idea of how it works. I'll let it run from turn 3 to turn 6, and then I'll stop the video just because I want to show you guys all the stuff that I'm doing here and how I'm enjoying this team. I mean, look, end of turn 1, I'm at 1 million already, and we haven't really set up a full 3-to-1 yet. It's not going to happen yet. Here he comes out, he hits with reduced speed, and then this is going to hurt. And then he removes that. And then this is where we should get into full sync right here, hopefully. And he hits nothing. He counterattacks. She clears off all the debuffs. Everybody's set to go. We never see anything negative. You can see here, he has decreased defense. He has weaken, and he has HP burn. And he has some poisons on him. This is perfect. And then the other thing that's kind of nice is he's putting out a leech. So that means all of our guys are staying at full health. Meaning that when you use your masteries, one of the masteries that you can use is the second level of the attack one furthest to the left. I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but it gives you 5% increase in damage. So guess what? You're increasing damage. Well, this here goes your idea. She cleansed everybody off. We're set to go. Everything's good. I just wanted you guys to see this working, this in action. I want to say goodbye. Number 1 team is the ultimate myth heir 3-1. So if you look it up on here, it's, you just type in the search ultimate and it will bring up ultimate myth heir 3-1 DPS right here. That's the team. I will also cut and paste. I have some instructions that I have made for myself on this and done some checking. So I'll put all this out in there also. This is a very exacting team, so there isn't much room for flexibility, but what I love about it is just everybody works so well together. I just love it. As I said, I just love it. So I will put all this out. And here's the 2-1 team. And you removes buffs for you. So I have one for removes buffs and block buffs. Here's the block buffs one. So here you can see it doesn't have to be Sepulchre. It doesn't have to be this guy. It can be others, but it's just your block debuffs. And you're all set. So I'll put all this in the chat for you guys. But I am going to stop my recording and wish you guys good luck and continue going out there and raiding. This is Leon from Setter's Raid signing off. Have a great day.